Well, it starts with a slow ball, and it's touch and go. It's called wide. Tim, you've been running around out there. You're chasing a bit of leather, aren't you?
Yeah. Obviously, it's always nice to run around the field, and especially a day like this. But yeah, obviously they've got a wee partnership here, so probably brought one of our strike bowlers on to try and break it.
Yeah, it just seems like every time you maybe got onto something, they've countered quite nicely, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and obviously they've played some good cricket shots as well.
You go into this part, is the bowling plan set as to who will probably bowl the overs, or would Tom be thinking on his feet quite a lot?
Oh, I think in T20 cricket, you can't always potentially go in with a plan. Obviously, depending on how they bat and what the wicket is, I think that's probably an over-by-over situation. You might have your death bowlers at the end, but in between, I think it's over-by-over.
Oh, that's 4 or 6. It's 6 because it's a small ground. Guilty of too many over-pitched ones. And there's another, and it got the treatment.
That's a miss from Milne, and that is dispatched. Goes to the slope once again at the back of the hand. It's been put into the stands. And there's some conversations out in the middle, Tim, around going to death plans early. Got us there, Tim?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you there.
No, you're all good. Just saying, are there any discussions out there around death bowling and potentially going to that a little bit earlier?
All I can hear at the moment is just Sri Lankan, so I'm not quite sure what Tommy and Milne are thinking. But obviously, I think on a small wicket, on a small ground like this, I think you just got to try and still back your best balls. Even if you do go death and you miss, you're in trouble. But they did talk about their slow balls, potentially getting them to hit square. We probably missed slightly fuller, so they did talk about when we did get wickets as to like that, potentially slow balls into the wicket and get them hitting to these square boundaries.
Second half of the innings, you generally put your best fielders out on the boundary. You're out on the boundary.
I've been here all day. I tried to make myself in the ring, but second over I got pushed out, so it is what it is. Hopefully one comes my way soon.
Full again. Get away with it though. They'll push it to and should. And on a good angle out there. How much fielding have you actually done without the gloves on?
Haven't done a huge amount in New Zealand. There's been a couple of franchise tournaments over in the CPL and a couple of games I played at the IPL. I was in the field, so yeah, I've definitely done a bit. And always in training, trying to do a bit of fielding just for these situations that I am in the team as a batter. So yeah, ball hasn't really come to me much today though.
Oh, cheers, Tim. All the best with the bat.
Cheers, thank you.
133 for 3. Seven overs to go. 33 for 3. 2 in players. You can definitely look to up the ante from here. Up the risk taking. Just like they're doing up there. Although I'm sure there's a lot of health and safety in place. It's not that risky.
Well, let's hope.
Lister. Back in. It hasn't been a great start for him. He's on debut. 2 overs, that first 6 overs in the power play. But They would have been happy with the run rate, and they consolidated enough. Just occupied for a wee while. Still scoring, that could be close. Now they've accelerated and they can really start to go from here. They've hit 8 sixes. That was a beauty off the pace of Milne. That was good. I thought it had gone straight up in the air, but every time, you look at the full balls here that they've taken total control of, have not missed a trick when given the right length to climb into. New Zealand guilty of being too full with width.
And even just the ability to hit those low full tosses for boundaries, for sixes, incredible skill. Short on that occasion, slow ball bouncer from Lister, overhead height. You often talk about, especially death bowling, you talk about trying to hit your Yorkers. You often say you're better to miss slightly full with a low full toss than you are miss a half volley. It's just because it can actually be a difficult ball to put away. So the striking that we've been treated to today has been nothing short of brilliant.
Often it just takes that one good overall, that couple of shots. New Zealand first ball, some bounce, some pace in the surface, there's an edge. Then one down for nothing. But it was just, I think it was the second over when they took to Lister, and probably that belief filters all the way down through the batting when you're coming off some bad performances. That's some hard area to defend. Really hard area, and it trickles into the boundary. Sodhi did his best. I'll have a little look at this, and they've given it 4 already.
It's actually well bowled from Lister. He's produced a mistake, the big top edge. Sodhi just gets himself into no man's land, really. Can't go for the catch. Isn't able to palm it back in either, falling on the Toblerone.
Well, it's 50 for Sri as well. And just confirming the boundary there. Just cramped the room there. Now, you were talking about it earlier on with Tim Seifert, Frankie Mackay. New Zealand have got to stay ahead of this. Good run. When I say stay ahead of the go, well, is Sri Lanka looking to attack? All-out attack now. If they are, boom, you go to a death mode. Yorkers, slower balls. Then what they'll start to do is they'll say, right, let's try to take one side out of it. Start bowling wide Yorkers. Forget about the wickets. Just try to bowl so that you minimise the boundaries hit.
Yeah, well, that has to be the plan from now on. You've got a side that's only 3 down. Almost 14 overs completed. And each bowler will be slightly different in the way they like to go about things. So there'll be a bit of a team plan. There's obviously some communication around it. The slower balls, there was some effectiveness there, holding in the surface, a little bit of grip on offer. And then how players look to utilise that will be slightly different. You'll have bowlers that will back their skill set to be able to run in and bowl straight Yorkers, wide Yorkers, slower ball Yorkers. Some will want to go into the surface more, utilise the biggest square boundaries.
Well, that's the area that I think Lister is looking to bowl. And gets it right in the final ball. Pretty straight with that field. 143 for 3. Question I have is, are they the best seats in the house or not? Personally not.
I think it'd be very...
Up now, Sri Lanka.
Well, what's clever about that, he knows that he's favoured the wrong and knows that's what Sodhi's been trying to bowl. Let's get out of jail ball. It's the ball he bowls when he's under pressure. So he backs himself with the ball turning away from him to get in that position, switch it. You then are playing with the spin. Knows you just got to get a little bit on it, skip away for 4. Great start to the over once again for Sri Lanka. Now do you go again? Field hasn't changed.
Yeah, Sodes. Lovely Sodes. Lovely that boy.
They've been very good in the last wee while, Sri Lanka, getting that first ball away for a boundary. That's the key to scoring 10 and over minimum. Consistently is get that the first or second ball away for a boundary. Take all